This is Chris, keeping it real, Facts over here. How are you doing this morning? I want to talk a little bit about it's one subject really, it's masks. But I'm going to tie in a couple other subjects and kind of wrap it up for you. A nice neat little package. Or I won't, I don't know. I didn't write any of this stuff down beforehand, so it might be a rather messy package. But if you've watched the channel for any length of time, you know that I've spent the last couple months, 3 months, talking about herd immunity, producing charts showing when we might reach herd immunity in North Carolina. And I was thinking about that, and then I was thinking about this whole mask thing. And you know, the thing about the masks is, the idea, the raison d'etre, if you will, is to keep people from spreading COVID-19. So even though that narrative has now changed to just wear a mask and it protects you, even though before March no medical doctor in America said that, but now everybody, it's just kind of become one of those things where it's repeated and repeated and repeated, and then all of a sudden everybody just takes it as fact. But masks are supposed to keep you from transmitting COVID-19 in the form, that ride along the water droplets of your breath. It's supposed to keep those from getting out into the open, and so therefore it protects other people. And so I was thinking about that as it relates to herd immunity, and it occurred to me that if 70, let's just say 70% of people, which is what we need for herd immunity, as far as I know, it might be higher, might be lower. If 70% of people wear masks when they go out in public, then that is a de facto herd immunity. So in other words, that takes 70% of the population out of the disease transmission category and makes them basically unable to infect people. And so that should stop the spread of the disease, because once you reach herd immunity, the spread of the disease stops, because the virus cannot find another host to jump to. So if you're capturing the host if you're capturing the virus inside a mask and it's not getting out, then it can infect somebody else. So that would result in the same thing as if we had reached herd immunity. And so I'm looking around at the stats. Well, I'm looking around in public, first of all. Well, let's look at the stats first, because the stats clearly paint a different story, because the number of cases in North Carolina on a 7-day rolling average are back above 2,000. After being as low as, I think it was like 800 or 900, back right before all the universities went back into session, and before the public schools started opening back up. And before, I think, as I look around, where I go on a day-to-day basis, before people just got sick and tired of not going out and seeing people. I think part of it, this mixing of the people, this intermingling, societal interaction, it's what's driving the increase of infection. But again, if the masks were effective, then it wouldn't matter how much people intermingled, because like I said, we would be at herd immunity. And so once you get to that point, it doesn't matter how much you intermingle, unless you're just really going to town, and maybe the herd immunity figure goes up another 10 points, or maybe 15 points, or whatever. Well, you look at the press, you look at the media, and all they talk about is how many cases we have, and they've got the charts, and they've got the graphs, and it's like, I appreciate that, because it helps me keep track of stuff. But my question is, why are these numbers increasing if masks are so effective? And the answer is always, well, people aren't wearing enough masks, they aren't being careful enough, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And I don't know about you. I don't know where you live, what your situation is, but everywhere I go in Oxford, North Carolina, people have masks on. Mainly because there's signs on the door that said, you can't come in here without a mask. And so people are wearing their masks. and they're doing what they're supposed to do, and yet somehow the disease continues to spread, the virus continues to go from host to host, infecting more and more people. But it shouldn't be that way. And so I've talked about cognitive dissonance before, where somebody tells you, well, if you just do this, everything will be fine. Okay, well, we're all doing it. We really are. And yet the disease is still on a big uptick. There's a lot more people in the hospitals. Those figures are back to a new high. Fortunately, deaths are not, which I'm thankful for. Still hovering between 25 and 30 a day. But what's happening on the ground should not be happening if masks work. And so I can only come to the conclusion that masks don't work. Or if they do work at all, they don't provide any real level of protection to anybody. And so those are just my thoughts this morning, and you can think that through for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. Like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. If you have a counter argument, I'd love to hear it. But the counter argument that not enough people are wearing masks, I just flatly reject out of hand. Because that again is cognitive dissonance. Because I see that it's well above 95%. I rarely see somebody in a store without a mask. Almost never. So there you have that. I'll just throw down that gauntlet right there. All right, you have a good day. We will see you on the next fact-filled video.